Luke Skywalker debuted his first appearance in the Book of Boba Fett this week, and a lot has changed since his first appearance as a Jedi Master in The Mandalorian. And there's been a lot of divided, controversial opinions on whether or not Luke looks and sounds better in the Book of Boba Fett compared to how he looks and sounds in The Mandalorian. And believe it or not, there was a lot of different technology used compared to his appearance in The Mandalorian versus his appearance in the Book of Boba Fett. And whilst Luke Skywalker looks amazing in the Book of Boba Fett, something The Mandalorian did better was his voice. Now, what do I really mean by that? They sound relatively the same, but in today's video, I'm going to be exploring what they did differently and why it's not necessarily for the better. Before I jump into it, however, if you're a massive fan of Star Wars and Star Wars gaming alike, why not join our Discord? We have about 3,000 of you already in our server, and tons of you are playing loads of Star Wars games together. A popular fan favorite right now is Star Wars Empire at War, especially with some new mod updates coming very soon. So if you're interested in joining our very warm community, invite code in the pinned comment down below. Now let's get back to Luke Skywalker. If you've seen that episode of the Book of Boba Fett, whilst he did look amazing in all of those scenes, you may have noticed some of those lines that Luke was saying was a little bit off.
Sometimes I wonder if his heart is in it.
So much like your father.
Now, why was that? Was that just Mark Hamill not really performing very well? In fact, no, he's actually not voiced Luke Skywalker in either The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett. Instead, they're using AI voice synthesizers. However, there was a big difference between the version that they used in The Mandalorian to the one that we're seeing today in the Book of Boba Fett. So first off, in The Mandalorian, they're using an AI speech synthesizer called Respeecher. Respeecher is an AI synthesizer company that works in TV and film to recreate voices of actors from the past or deceased. We know this because Jon Favreau revealed this in a Disney Gallery episode about the making of the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian. He states his voice, the young Luke Skywalker voice, is completely synthesized using an application called Respeecher. I had archival material from Mark in that era. We had clean recorded ADR from the original films, a book on tape he'd done from those eras, and also Star Wars radio plays he had done back in that time. So in layman terms, Favreau is pretty much explaining that they had clean audio recordings of Mark Hamill from the 70s and 80s, and the Respeecher AI was able to take in all that audio recording and create its very own early era Mark Hamill voice. Big fans of The Mandalorian and Luke Skywalker alike probably already know this information. However, they did it completely different in the Book of Boba Fett. And we know this because ILM supervisor Richard Bluff recently spoke with Esquire magazine and explained how they used an application called Lola to bring early Luke Skywalker to life. He pretty much says the exact same thing Joe Favreau says, but they're using Lola instead of Respeecher. Now, taking a look at Lola and what it actually is, it's not an AI synthesizer, but in fact a visual effects program. Now, looking into this, they're talking about Lola VFX. I'm unsure if this is actually the application name or just a mistake from the author, but Lola VFX have pretty much done all of the Marvel films when it comes to de-aging and using AI synthesizers to de-age their voice as well. We can see this with the young Robert Downey Jr. in Captain America Civil War and a young Chris Evans from Captain America The First Avenger. Unfortunately, compared to Jon Favreau's interview with Disney Gallery, this interview with Esquire shrouds this AI synthesizer in a lot of ambiguity. So the only assumption we can make here is that they're using an in-house AI synthesizer compared to a company-built one like Respeecher. This explains why Luke Skywalker sounds so different from The Mandalorian to the Book of Boba Fett. And for some of the audience out there, they think this is not for the better. In fact, they think Luke sounds worse in the Book of Boba Fett compared to how he did in The Mandalorian. So why does he sound worse? Is Lola just not as good as Respeecher in terms of AI synthesizing voices? That could be the answer, because Respeecher is introducing a different style of technology on how they recreate their voices. Here's a demo of what they put together as early as 2018.
Hey guys. Here's a short demo of our voice conversion technology. We'll be converting my voice to the voice of Barack Obama.
There has to be a political settlement to bring about genuine peace in the region.
The system captures the idiosyncrasies of how I say something each time I say it.
I can say the same thing many times. The same thing many times. And each time the recording will be correspondingly different. This makes voice conversion suitable for applications where the result should have the personality and range of emotion of a real person.
So what the technology is doing here is that the AI isn't just generating the sentence in one go, it's also recording the emotion that comes from this audio recording this person's doing and puts it onto this fake voice. So instead of getting an AI voice that sounds like a very bored Luke Skywalker, you're getting this very dynamic, emotional version instead. Whilst this technology was made all the way back in 2018 by Respeecher, it's very new for other companies. Nvidia just managed to make their own version in 2021.
I am even the narrator of this story.
I am even the narrator of this story.
And if Nvidia just managed to pull it off last year, I wouldn't be surprised if Lola VFX haven't even got their version off the ground yet. And because of this is why Luke Skywalker might sound too calm or too bored and very emotionless in the Book of Boba Fett. Whilst in The Mandalorian, it might sound a little bit better because they were using more advanced technology at the time. But voice AI synthesizers isn't the only thing Disney's trying to build in-house with another company. It's also deepfakes. If we look at Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian, many people pointed out he looked a little bit weird, especially in the eyes. Everyone knew it was a deepfake, but people realized it was a bad deepfake. This is because Disney wanted to develop it with another company rather than using an off-the-shelf solution. This is why the deepfake or the 3D model of Moff Tarkin in Rogue One looked a lot better than Luke Skywalker did in The Mandalorian. Instead of using an off-the-shelf solution, they used in-house, which was not as advanced. But then we see some YouTubers like Jarkan who actually makes better deepfakes and posting them on YouTube, so much so that Disney actually hired him. And it goes to show hiring those people who are savvy in this technology goes a long way, because now Disney's own built deepfake is superior to most others off the shelf now. A lot of people watched the Book of Boba Fett and couldn't believe that was a deepfake. It looked real, it looked like a different actor. And that's the benefit of building in-house or with a company that's built to make that for you. They have to focus on making that project for you and not work with numerous companies that might slow down progression. So whilst Luke Skywalker definitely sounds quite weird in the Book of Boba Fett for now, expect in the next 1 to 2 years to have him sound almost flawless when Lola catches up with the technology Respeecher has right now, and maybe in the next Star Wars films, young Jedi Master Luke Skywalker is going to look and sound indistinguishable from the original trilogy. But this is where I pass the question over to you guys. Which sounded better, Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian or Luke Skywalker in Book of Boba Fett? Check out both scenes, form an opinion, and let me know in the comments down below. I read all of them, and I'll get back to some of you as well. And also, let me know what you think about these Star Wars lore videos. We're trying something out new where we don't necessarily talk about Star Wars games, and actually talk a bit more about Star Wars lore and the technology used to make Star Wars shows. Interested to hear your thoughts on that one as well. But besides that, guys, I've been Charlie, you've been watching EcksToo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.